Filth tells the story of Detective Bruce Robertson, a man who wants to secure a promotion in his job and who undertakes various devious actions in order to do so. And I should only have to say that the film is unique to say the least and ultimately boils down to something that is fantastic, putting across as well what I believe is one of the best performances of the year so far. It's certainly interesting to watch this film simply because of the fact that it has a lot of various elements that manage to round it out well enough. Firstly, the comedic elements within the film that have this slick edge about them really add to the tone that the film's really presenting, and almost the grotesque ideas that the film tries to put across and the various graphic images that you get to witness. Furthermore, at the same time, it does have more dramatic and in fact to a certain degree romantic elements that really manage to balance out the film well in my personal opinion, rather than coming across as jarring and inconsistent. And ultimately, it's surprising to see that a film like this that initially started off as one thing blossomed into something far greater when it presents a lot of messages regarding humanity per se, and rather how humans are today, really giving you something to think about within the world that we live in. Furthermore, you get to follow this journey along with our lead character Bruce Robertson, so fantastically portrayed by James McAvoy, who definitely gives the performance of a lifetime in this film. I guarantee you this is going to be one of the best performances of the year because of the various different emotions that of course he has to depict and go through, and there are some scenes, in particular one, wherein he's watching something on a television screen while being on the phone at the same time, and that is by far the most difficult and at the same time most attention-grabbing scene to watch that I've probably seen in a very long time. And it's really this lead performance that stands out as the heart and the soul of the film, that really carries the film through and through. The film isn't necessarily reliant on it, but I certainly do believe that to a certain degree, the film might not be too much or a whole lot without it. But even from a technical standpoint, the film certainly does succeed in the fact that the cinematography itself, as well as the production design, really managed to add various different vibrant colors to witness on screen, which is of course aesthetically pleasing, but at the same time really manages to set the tone for each and every single scene. Despite this though, there are certain moments that the film does possess, dare I say, abruptness in terms of where it shifts from one sort of story to another. Rather, it doesn't necessarily have a prime focus. It takes time for one to figure out exactly what the film is all about, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time I felt it a bit of a loss towards the end when the film took certain turns here and there, and it left me a bit confused at certain moments. Ultimately though, Filth is a film that is incredibly devious, dare I say, and it's devious just like its lead character, and it has this slick edge about it that I believe warrants a first, if not a second viewing for a film like this. While I do acknowledge some of the minor flaws that the film does certainly possess, I have to say that if for nothing else, to witness James McAvoy's fantastic portrayal of the lead character, this film certainly deserves a first time, if not a second time watch, which is something that I will certainly be doing. I believe that you can experience literally filth, the filth of humanity to a certain degree, and at the same time a much grander message of where we are as people through this extremely interesting and unique story that exists within its own self-contained world and within the various uniquely created, almost caricature-like characters that we get to witness on screen, making one of the most interesting, in fact independent, and definitely thought-provoking viewings of the year so far. I'm gonna give Filth a double yes.